You know what? I just want to start this show by saying we want to go live. Once a week, we'll start to. This is JJ Snyder. She's on a show called Morning Blend here in Las Vegas. But we want to give you, I haven't figured out a name. I was thinking the hottish, yo, no. See, I don't know. The top four, you should know what yo, the hottish, yo, no. I don't know. But we're bringing you the big 4 topics of the day. That's what we're doing.
For sure. The 4 hot trending topics. By the way, your name is so fun to play with.
Yes, it is.
And I came up with an idea on the way here, but I mean, like I have a lot of them and I'm sure these guys do too.
Give it to us, right?
How yo can you go? I just like that.
How yo can you go?
I mean,
short again. Yo, 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 yo. About them apple bottom boots with the fur. All right, so people are just tuning in right now. Producer Alex, introduce yourself.
Alex.
He is here.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So what's he going to do is any comments you have about the topics we talk about, he'll read them on the air. So we're all set for your topics. Make sure you drop some stars. Make sure. What is the thing on YouTube they can drop? Is it just coins? What is it?
Oh, super chats.
Super chats.
Super chats. Drop some super chat. Drop everything right now. We're about to go live with your 4 biggest topics. The first thing we want to talk about that's trending everywhere.
Oh, man.
And they're both friends of mine. Joe Coy and Chelsea Handler broke up. I was about to call her Chelsea Lately. So many people think her name is Chelsea Lately. Now, I didn't hear about the news right away. I was actually talking to Joe before the news broke. Like, I talked to him about 5 hours before the news broke. And then I texted him after I heard the news. And, you know, he had a sweet message and everything. But my wife sent me the information about Chelsea and Joe Coy breaking up, and she was crushed. So many women are crushed by this.
I am literally in mourning over this relationship. Now, I know Joe, of course, because he comes on my show. I've never met Chelsea, but I have loved Chelsea from afar.
Yeah.
When I'm telling you, I love Chelsea Handler. Like, she is like my spirit animal. I am like, girl, I need you in the world because I need to hear women's voices like that. Michael, I was thinking about it last night. By the way, you broke the news to me yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
When we were on the Morning Blend,
Yes.
I told you that they broke up and you were shocked. Like, you were physically hurt. Women get physically hurt about this.
It's like I am going through a breakup because I'm just mourning the loss of that connection. I enjoyed them. I love these two people together. I love them. And I'm having a hard time letting go. I had to go on their Instagram and I had to like, and I love both of them.
Yes.
I'm not doing sides.
No, I'm not doing sides either, but observing both posts, Chelsea's was long. Joe's was like 2 sentences. So that made me kind of wonder, like, what was going on.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Did it make you wonder who's hurting more in this moment?
Or who broke up?
Well, yeah.
I think it's obvious possibly Chelsea called it off. Or did you see it the other way around?
I really don't know because they're both such good communicators that they knew to put out a super positive message, much like their relationship that was so mutually supportive. Their breakup seems to be really mutually supportive.
Well, it needs to be supportive because it's easier to be supportive. I mean, because they were only together a year. They were figuring each other out. They're both loved by the community. So the last thing you want to do is ruin each other, you know, no matter how bad it got or not. You know, the last thing you want to do if you're 2 successful people is hurt your brand for a relationship if it's not going to work out. It's kind of like celebrities. They could cheat on each other, but hey, they try to keep it as PC as possible. Now, I'm not saying that's Chelsea and Joe at all. I think it's just, hey, this didn't work out. Let's move on. But they're both at the top of their game right now. Joe just sold out 7 shows, stadium shows in Hawaii. Chelsea's crushing it on tour.
And Chelsea just filled in for Jimmy Kimmel, and just killed it, rocked it, always killing it, Chelsea. But their post together was something that really literally was keeping me happy and optimistic during the pandemic. Listen, Michael, I've met Joe. You know them both. So I feel like you are in a position. Can you enlighten us a little bit
Let me tell you,
to the dynamic between the two beyond what we know in public?
I was on Chelsea Lately when the show came out. And I was on all 7 or 8 seasons. And my job was to be the straight man on it. You know, I defended the celebrities and the comedians would crack jokes. And then I learned one thing about Chelsea, and I tell everybody this. Chelsea is the most loyal person you will ever meet in your life. If you are in her life, you will stay in her life, and she will take care of you when she can. Joe Coy is like a brother to me. He mentored me in comedy. He's the one of the first people to tell me to go after it. He took me on tour. He taught me how to do comedy right. He gave me the advice. And man, I just love those two so much. So when they got together, it was like, oh my God, two people that have impacted my life. Because without Chelsea, my career, I wouldn't probably not even started comedy. Because I was around so many great comedians at the time. I was like, oh, I should try, at least try. I would have never tried. It was never a dream of mine to do stand-up comedy. But as soon as I did, I fell in love. I go, this is what I was born to do, because I'm open to opportunity. Without Chelsea, that would have never happened. Without Chelsea, Joe, I probably would have never met Joe. And he wouldn't have been my mentor. So that show, Chelsea Handler was lightning in a bottle. I call it the American Idol for comedians. Like literally you could be at that show when it was hot and sell out stadiums. I mean, not stadiums, sell out clubs. And that was because of Chelsea. Chelsea let everybody shine and she didn't mind. And Joe, think about it. Her show, her round table, it was her, 3 comedians and me. She would say her joke, let a comedian say the joke, let a comedian say the joke, let a comedian say the joke. I would say something, then it would go around one more time, then we're to the next topic. That was the formula. So her thing was everybody shine just as much as her. You know,
it's such a giving thing. You know what I mean?
It
In that way, it's like, I know she doesn't have kids. Well, she has dog children. Of course, we all know about. She loves dog children.
You have dog children as well.
I do. And I love my fur children for sure. I don't know. But in that way, like she's been like a mother figure to so many people. Like she helps other people shine the light. I need Chelsea in my life, Chelsea Handler, because she is a woman who has balls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She doesn't back down.
I don't know if you noticed, but women don't always have like the easiest way in this world. So we need women, straight out, smart, funny, sexy women who own it. Like Chelsea Handler. You know like we need these women. Yes. We need the voice.
You know what?
I hear you, Chelsea. I love you.
That's what I loved about her. She made a comment that after she did Kimmel, she goes, oh, I'm going to make a play to do late night, because she felt that her doing Chelsea lately and being so successful would open the door to a lot more women to do late night. But it didn't. It didn't. It was like, oh, nobody can do it like Chelsea. Let's close the door again. There were people that tried, but it didn't happen for them. Now she's like, well, if nobody else can do it, I'm going to come back and do it. I gave everybody 10 years. Basically, I think the show was over 20. I gave everybody 8 to 10 years to get on. Well, I'm going to have to do it again. And good for her, man. Good for her. Alex, we got any comments coming in? Feel free to drop your comments if you want right there on the page. If you're on Facebook, drop some stars. If you're on YouTube, drop some comment and whatever it's called.
Drop some comments. I just want to take a quick second just to tell everybody, go ahead and if you're on YouTube, subscribe, because I need to stay employed. Drop that subscribe, drop that like button. And
Alex,
with that said, let us know if you want to talk about anything, and that's all I got to say right now.
All right, cool. Thanks, Alex. So any comments, drop them in and we'll get them on the show.
Did you notice? So Chelsea's Instagram post was a video that they'd pre-shot celebrating their 1-year anniversary.
Because
her and Joe,
they're always in different places all the time.
So they get together. It's like a lot of influencers, right? They're doing these social media videos like when they didn't actually happen. So they had shot it before.
Which is interesting, because when you're two people that are never in the same place, you know, they probably have a content creator who's like, hey, for 8 hours today, we're just going to shoot a bunch of videos and lay them out. You know, where it looks like we're together, but he could be on the other side of the world. She's on the other side of the world. But I guess that's the game we play today. I thought it was cute that, hey, this would have been the message on their 1 year. So it was cute.
So sweet, actually, for her to use that post. I think they're both being really brave. I'm telling you, I'm literally processing this myself. It's really affecting me. I think they're both being really, really brave and big, because I know they're both hurting right now. So.
Well, we love you. We love you, Chelsea and Joe Coy. I love you both. Yeah, we love you. I do want to move on to the second topic of the day, because we got 4 hot topics. Frogging with a PH, right?
Yes. It's a new thing in the zeitgeist.
It's a new thing that, in a weird way, has become hot, where I think the pandemic caused it, where for places that turn over a lot of people, like apartment complexes, like especially colleges, you know, because they get students in and out of houses and different apartments.
Transient situations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people, what they're doing, it's called frogging. People will live in your place, in your house or apartment. And when you leave, They will use everything like they live. It turns into their house, and you don't know they're living there. They will eat your food. They will use your laptop. They will. But here's a lot of them stay in your attic. Some of them stay in your closet. And it's called frogging because they bounce around from different places. Now, this is a real thing going on right now. And it's freaking me out because, when you hear bumps in the night.
Oh, all the time. I frequently, in the last week, I've heard like a crash inside the walls of my house. And I'm like, what is that exactly?
So it's somebody
that
frogging.
Kind of thing.
It's somebody frogging. It's just scary because what happened during the pandemic, of course, everybody lost everything. And then everything just moved into the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything was open and there was no trap. So everybody got to the center of the city where everything was, and people were sneaking in the houses. They say some people sneak under crawlways under your house and live like in the basement. Oh, it freaks me out.
Yeah. I mean, this has been like a really unusual time. A lot of people are displaced.
Yes.
So it's actually something that's happening. I think it's being brought to light right now because they're doing like a new true crime show about it.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
I think it's airing on Lifetime.
So
right?
the one.
So we're going to hear a lot more about this.
The story I saw, it was 3 Black girls that went to a college and they would hear bumps in the night, right?
Okay.
But they were like, okay.
Which freaks you out.
Yeah. Yeah. So they thought, okay, the place is haunted or it's just weird sound. Because when you live in older places, you hear a lot of creaks too.
Yes.
Like, the floor expands.
Drafts.
Yeah, drafts and things like that. So they thought that's all it was. They were like, this place is kind of haunted, whatever. But then this girl was very organized. Her closet was super organized and it was color coded. And she goes, some of the stuff was out of order. She goes, oh, maybe it's one of my roommates. Because that's the thing. If you have roommates, you always defer to them. Oh, it's just them.
No, you blame them.
You blame them. Yeah, you don't defer. You blame them.
Exactly.
You blame them. So she was blaming the roommates. And then one day they're all out. And this guy is posting selfies inside their place on their laptop. But if you don't know who he is, you would never look up his Instagram. You have no idea. So this guy's showing pictures of him in their refrigerator saying it's his, sitting on their couch, watching their TV, on their laptop. And one day these girls go into the bathroom and see blonde hair. Now, these are 3 Black girls with black hair. They see blonde hair in the sink.
Ooh.
Blonde hair, lots of blonde hair in the sink. They go, wait a minute, something's wrong. So we didn't do this. So who is doing this? So they set up a camera and caught the dude. And he was staying in one of the girls' closets. I can't.
He's like setting up camp.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's been there through the transition of different people coming in. He's just staying in that apartment.
I got to watch this show because my first question is, how do they get in? I mean, somehow they're finding a reoccurring place to
100%.
get in.
Yeah.
But then here's the thing. They have to know when the people are home. So they're quiet.
This guy had it set up where it's kind of like, if you didn't look for him, you wouldn't know he's there because he kind of set up a fake wall in front of him.
Yeah.
So he kind of cut some of the closet off.
Fort.
I know, like a fort, and was just staying in this small place. So you would, if you never went to the back of your closet, you wouldn't know. So I'm telling everybody right now, go to the back of your closet. Alex, go to the back of your closet, sir.
Alex, have you checked your closet?
Asks a good question. Casey asked, did he get arrested? Did they mention that in the story?
They did not mention that in the story because I don't know if that's like squatting.
So I did see an article that was like, what's the difference between frogging and squatting?
Yes.
Right. And what they were kind of saying is when it's considered frogging, there's no crime involved. So people are not necessarily stealing anything from the house, maybe like minor things like taking an apple or a banana.
So it's not a crime for somebody just living in your house.
I don't know that it's not a crime. I think they were just saying frogging people are usually kind of a little more friendly and considerate of your house versus like, so don't fear the frogger, right? Yeah. That it was more someone like really just kind of seeking shelter versus coming in to rob you.
So these people, so it's kind of like they're the nice people. They just want to live somewhere with a roof. But that's still free, man.
There's like a bigger issue here right now, and that is like how many people have been displaced during the pandemic.
Yes, but still, you shouldn't be in somebody's house when they leave. Oh, it's a huge story about displacement. But man, when you're in somebody's house and you're eating their food and on their computers, watching their TV, making yourself at home when that freaks me out. That's the worst. Like my wife, she grew up. I believe with John Benet Ramsey when that girl got kidnapped.
Yes.
So my wife
Joan Benet.
Joan Bennett
Yes.
Ramsey, right? See, I don't
Beautiful
remember.
little girl.
And got kidnapped.
Yes.
So my wife, she jokes about it, but she always thought like was scared at home because she thought she could get kidnapped, you know? And just to know somebody's in your house and you don't know.
Yeah. The
It's
thing
freaky.
I think is so powerful about frogging is that it plays into a fear that everyone already has.
Yes.
And that is, what is that sound? Is someone in my house?
And the thing is now that it's probably not a crime because they haven't stolen anything. They're just living in your house.
So I
like
think that
breaking
this
and
person brings up
entering?
a good point. Kevin says, not a crime, ? Not breaking and entering.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
Kevin.
a pretty good point.
Exactly.
So what is it then? It's just
trespassing
trespassing.
on a private residence. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, which gets nothing.
Yeah.
That's a part of the law that really trips me out is that, we see the ultra rich get away with everything. But
That's for sure.
like I know in LA, me and my wife lived in Studio City
Mhm.
and there was actually a law where they had to steal, they could break into your car and steal a certain amount before before they can get in trouble for it. So they knew how much to steal. Like let's say they could steal up to $400. Well, if you had a pair of sunglasses in there that was over 400, they wouldn't touch that, but they would take small things out to total 400.
Yes.
Like literally, if you had $500 laying on your chair in your car, they would take 400 and leave 100.
So it's kind of like with
they can't prosecute
a
that.
freelance job. I think you don't have to pay taxes if it's under 600. Right.
Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know that.
So similar thing. That's because you're making the big bucks, Michael, doing the comedy clubs.
I didn't.
But no, that's the thing. That's the thing. So I get it, the limit. By the way, I lived in Westwood when I lived in Los Angeles. Beautiful neighborhood, but man, we had a lot of robberies. Like a lot. I had my house robbed, but my car robbed as well. But the craziest robbery that ever happened, like car theft on my street, and I'm the one who found it because I'm out. You know what you do? You are the natural neighborhood watch when you have a dog.
Yeah, but we have 2 kids, and I was like, because our son.
I'm not trying to convince
big
you to
shout
get
out to Oliver. Hi, Oliver, my son. He got, I was on the morning blend with you, and he got mad that I didn't give him a shout out. He goes, why didn't you give me a shout? So what's up, Oliver? What's up, buddy? I love you. Elise, I love you. My wife, I love you. So I got to do that every show. And he goes, anytime you go on any show.
While we're giving out love, I love my husband as well. Billy, I love you.
Hey, Billy.
It sounds like we should do that.
I know.
You know, if we're doing this right now, Kelsey, you're watching this at home. I love you. So yeah.
By the way, Alex, just 6 months into his wedding. Happy newlywed phase, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been really good. I'm discovering what it's like to be a husband.
And what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
So far, I like it. I like it.
Oh.
You know what I like about being a husband, and I would never say anything on this show I haven't told my wife. I love, and it may sound bad, but it's not. I love the predictability of coming home knowing what's going to happen. It's so comforting, and my wife is so great. My kids are so great. I'm out of the I'm gonna go home and let's see what happens. No, I've dated that.
No drama.
No drama. My wife is no drama.
Yes. You know what? You have to be ready for that in life. When you're ready for that, it is like a very welcome
like at 21,
situation.
I wasn't ready. I wanted like craziness, unpredictability.
Let's go.
Now I want to come home, have both of my kids run up to me, give me a hug. My daughter, though, she will run up to me, and right when she gets to me, she'll turn around and go the other way. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, and then she'll stop right in front of me, turn around, and go the other way.
She's like, had enough.
I know.
She doesn't need to embrace.
No, she got so I'm like, and then she's like, stop right in front, and then she goes away. Every time.
That's the funniest thing.
But then sometimes we'll come home. My son will run up to me and I'll give him a hug, but my daughter will run right past me and go to my wife. Like, right. And that's so deflated. Or if my son's not there, she'll come and I think she's running to me and she'll just go right around me and hug my wife.
Now, do you like tickle her a lot if you would, hug her? Because my dad used to tickle me badly.
You know why?
I was running away from him.
I hate being tickled. I get physically
this
angry.
Is good. Alex, did you know that?
No, but I'm the same exact way.
Alex has never
the same exact way.
What'd you say, Alex?
I'm the same exact way, so I know exactly what you mean.
I will get angry. That's the one. I think that's the one thing that if you do to me, the only thing, like, I don't fight, I don't get really upset, but if somebody tickles me, because my cousin used to hold me down and tickle me, and it would strike this chord in me where I just get really hot and really mad.
It's
really
horrific.
Fast. Yeah. It's the worst. When it's okay to get it, but when you overly do it, like I was held down and my cousins would tickle me, and it just makes me want to fight.
My brother's 7 years older than me, and I remember he was wrestling at school. He would pin me down and tickle me until to a point of just, it was excruciating.
Yeah.
So
what's your thing, Alex, that makes you mad just right off the bat?
I definitely hate tickling, but I also, this is weird, but I'm like claustrophobic, but I get angry. Like I hate being in small spaces, but not only do I get anxious, I get mad that I'm in a small space.
Yeah. So you can't do MRIs or stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Tiny
That's
elevator?
like, no, that's my worst nightmare.
So
MRIs.
by the way, if you're just tuning in and you're learning about the show, I'm Michael, this is JJ. Alex is the producer. Alex has lost 15 pounds.
Man, Alex, yes.
Yeah, we're out here.
It is not easy, man. You go.
So drop a nice comment to Alex if you're watching the show. Drop a nice comment because he's working his butt off. It's been about a month. Drop 15 pounds and you're about to add workouts to it, right?
In
Alex?
1 month, you dropped 15.
I did. And yeah, we're about to add workouts. And as a fun exercise, I thought I would go to like a fighting gym just for like one workout.
Yes.
And do some fight training.
He's gonna go to 9 rounds. My friend Dave owns the gym. It's right on Spring Valley.
Yep.
So he's gonna go there, put him through a little workout. You know, not too intense, but that's the thing, man. It's beautiful. What's your wife think about it?
Oh, she's absolutely loves it. I mean, she was so up for it that one of my friends, he's filming my whole journey and he's making a video about it. He asked my wife, is it okay if I come over to your house and I just raid your fridge, raid your pantry, throw out anything, you know, that and junk. Yeah. And she was on board with it. And so she's helping me. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you want to live a long life because Alex one day wants to have kids. So there you go.
Yes.
You want to be around for her.
Here's a beautiful thing about health and bodies is like every day is a day to kind of reset and like move forward.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, Alex, in the next 30 days is like going to completely affect your health in your body. You know what I mean?
For the rest of your life.
So you have that power.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I heard it takes like about 30 days to build a habit. So I'm already in the habit of like, you know, what I'm doing, what I'm eating. So
and now here's what's interesting for Alex. Ever since he started getting in shape, losing 15 pounds, his business has taken off. It's so crazy when your body starts to get healthy, work just starts to come in. It happened to me when I was at E. I came to E, I was a little bit overweight. And for TV, for that type of TV. So I started losing weight.
Those 3 pounds.
Oh, I know.
It was disgusting.
So I dropped about 15.
Wow.
And then I felt great. And then other opportunities came. The Kardashians, Chelsea lately. And then now I dropped even more. My wife's father is, you know, he like dabbles in anything, but a lot of things, but he knows about nutrition. So I did this like 21-day cleanse and my body got lean. And then I got booked on Amber Brown. So every time I reset my body, I get booked on something. I got a big audition today and I feel really good about it. So it's like, but I just reset my body probably about 2 weeks ago. So it's interesting when you bring into the world positive energy on your body. So a lot of times it results in opportunities you don't even see until they appear right in front of you. And you go, oh, because I'm in the right mind state, my body's in the right mind state, and opportunities, it's just you attract it.
I love this conversation because I have been there. I was probably 15 pounds heavier for sure in my 20s, or maybe even 20 pounds heavier, but it was evident, you know, and I heard back a lot from casting people about it.
Yeah.
You know, like if only you could lose that weight, man, you'd have a better shot. Like I was told that straight out. And here's the thing that is so amazing about like what happened to you and what happened to me too, is like, a lot of times you're pushing off taking care of yourself because you're so busy or because you're hustling so bad. When you stop and go, I'm first, and whatever it is, however I need to love myself in the right way, I may need to make some other things second priority. I'm going to make myself first in this issue.
Yeah.
And then you do that, the change happens, and then you're right. And then the world gives back to you more.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
All right. Number three story. We got to get to it. It's a wedding in Hawaii, correct?
Yes.
It was a reception after the wedding.
It was an outdoor wedding reception. You guys must have seen this video because this giant wave came up over the wall and wiped out the whole reception.
And 2 big waves came out, wiped up the whole reception. And the first thing I thought about when I saw this, I thought about my wife. Now, my wife put so much work into our wedding. I couldn't even imagine a wave taking out my wife would have lost it. Our wedding was so beautiful, but she put so much. I felt bad for that couple because I know they saw it two different ways. I know the wife was destroyed, but the guy was like, oh, it's kind of funny. That's how we see it. Like, it happened.
All right, guys, I want to show you the video real quick.
Please,
so I pulled it up here,
see it again?
and I can't get it on you guys, but the stream will see it here.
Okay, the stream is going to see it.
Here's this giant wave, and you got the wedding, and boom. Wow, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it just takes everything.
Insane.
And then a second wave comes and takes it out too.
You see all
There's
the
a
people,
second one.
people running. You can just see the shock of like, is this really? Oh yes, it is. Run.
Because they were like, oh, this is not going to go over. No. And then it does. And then it happens the second time. And the thing that popped into my head, my wife would have lost it. But I know, and I said this before, but I know the bride and the groom saw it two different ways. I would have laughed about it, but my wife would have been destroyed.
Have they been interviewing them? I would love to hear from both of them.
I have not seen an interview with them.
Would love to hear about it.
Oh, I would love to.
Yes.
And I guarantee you the guy is like, all his friends like, dude, what a wedding, man. And the girls are like, oh my God.
See, that's funny that you bring that up because we got a comment here from Gene Royd. He says, guys and women have different perspective always.
Always.
Because my first thought would be like, well, I just got married and I think I'm getting a refund on everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Had they been served dinner yet? Or the drinks?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The drinks.
Did the cocktails keep flowing? That's really the question.
See, I'm sure the bar wasn't touched.
You know what it is?
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. Just being a woman, like I did the majority of the planning for my wedding. 100%. And it's not even that like I'm a little Cinderella fairy princess who grew up my whole life wanting to get married. It's that when you put in literally hundreds of hours into excruciating details.
Men
oh yeah, no, there's that. Oh no. That's hundreds of weeks and years, my friend. Oh my God, did I kiss a lot of frogs? But that's like a whole other podcast.
Yeah, we'll do another podcast.
Can we?
Yes, right.
But when you put in that much time into any kind of project, I mean, you built this podcast studio, like it's amazing. I know you put some work into this. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I put some thought into it, but I'm physically not a man. Like I can't build anything.
What, Michael?
No, my wife, like, here's how bad it is. My son, who's only 5, if something's broke, he will go to my wife or her father. He won't even look at me. That's how bad I am. And I'm very honest. I can't fix anything. Mm-hmm. My wife will be the first one.
You own it.
Like, even if batteries need changed and something, my son will walk right past me, whatever toy, and go to my wife. Or you call him Papa, but that's my father. I cannot fix anything.
When I was setting up this studio with Michael, I was like, Michael, do you have an Allen key? And he looks at me like what? And then you know what he did?
What?
He brings his wife into the studio.
Oh my! It's
and
like
then
that.
He's like, honey, do we have a Alex? What is it called? I'm like, do we have an Allen key?
We might need to bring in like should we bring in some kind of a contractor or a tool expert?
Oh my God, you could bring
on
tools
this show.
I couldn't tell you.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a Dremel.
No, I love that, Alex. Just you put my personal business out there. You just called me out. And my wife is watching it and loving this because I know nothing about. But I have different talents. I just can't fix anything.
Okay,
I can't fix anything,
and that's the key. So what can you do?
This. I do that, and I'm great at making beautiful babies. I'm great at helping out making beautiful babies.
Can't go wrong with that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now I can't fix anything, but I can podcast, I can do TV, I can do comedy, and I can act. So those are my talents, and my talent is not hanging up stuff and like I do manual labor. I can I have no problem doing manual labor.
Yeah, sweep the driveway.
No, who sweeps the driveway?
I do. Do you know what I do? You don't even know what I do. First off, I grew up on a ranch in Washington State.
Okay.
So I'm basically like a giant male farmer in like a blonde woman's body. Like I can bale hay. I can like break a horse. I can drive a tractor.
What does break a horse mean?
You break them in. Oh yeah. It's a rough old term, but it just means you break them from being wild into how to be tame, and so that you can get on their back and ride them.
Oh, so you know how to break them in.
Yeah.
So men must have been pretty easy for you.
You can
break a horse. Which one's harder to break?
There is a clear. that's why I went for the biggest, baddest boys I could find when I was in my 20s. I'm not kidding. Because I can handle the reins. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
All right. That's cool. That's
I mean, I grew up really rough and tumble. You know what I mean? So
tomboy.
Anyway, so I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the way that I grew up, because I'm like a 6th generation farmer.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I mean, I don't have a farm yet, but if I do one day, then
you
I would
do want to have
become
a farm.
I feel like it's the natural progression of things.
That's one thing I would like if there was a list, that would be the last thing on the list. For me and my family, I don't think my wife would even want to be on a farm. That sounds miserable to me.
I bet you would love
to come
visit me on the farm. And especially bring the kids.
No.
The kids would love it.
Oh, the kids would love the animal, but I can't. No. I'm not a farmer.
Why are you saying no? Why are you closing your mind?
Because I've been on a farm before. Okay. Yeah. Right. No, not my thing.
You don't like the animals?
I love animals, but not those animals.
So it depends.
I'm not going to pet chickens or ride a horse. I will never ride a horse. You know, so everything at a farm, you know, I eat, but I wouldn't hang out.
You know what, Michael? I'm going to work on you.
Okay.
On this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure my kids would love to pet the animals.
Yes.
So. Me,
and when you see the joy, your daughter might just run to you and jump in your arms this time because she's like, Daddy, they have ducks.
Oh yeah, my son loves ducks. They love animals.
Ducks are cute.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So this wave that interrupted this reception back in Hawaii. That's what we were talking about. I would love it if someone could get to the bride and groom. I'm sure that all the national shows approach them right away.
Well, here's this one thing about weddings, and every man, I know a lot of men watch this podcast, and my advice to you is if you're getting married, men,
here it is,
gentlemen, if you're getting married, let her make all the decisions because what you say, even though they say it matters, it doesn't matter at all. I'm right?
I like that. I mean, the longer I'm married, the more I kind of want to be in control of everything.
You should.
Yeah.
Because this, this is how I know. My dad and mom, they've been married 48 years. I love there's no argument from you on it either. My mom and dad have been married 48 years. My dad, I think women like to control where everything is in the house, how everything operates. Because I saw it with my dad. My dad will ask my mom where his socks are, and they're in the sock drawer. I think men just lose their minds after a certain period of time where they just depend on their wives, but it's set up like that. Y'all love that. I feel, you want to admit that because you'll be like, oh, he never knows where anything is, or you already, but they love, I think y'all love it too, though.
It's kind of this thing that happens over time too. Cause I noticed like I really started when in that first year of marriage, I always laugh at like women who just got married and they're like always asking their husband's opinions. Like, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, oh my God, they're so new.
Yeah. Because it really doesn't matter what we want to eat. It's what the family needs to eat.
Because I think it all comes back to this is like, and I say this like with love, but like, I know better.
Yeah. Oh, you know better.
Well, or we could do it my way.
I know better. Or are you hearing this, newly married Alex? What's your thoughts on this, newly married Alex?
So the problem with that is I
love it.
Not on everything.
I'm very picky about where I place things and what I like. So we were trying to find a new dining table and chairs. My wife was sending me constant, tables for sale. And it probably took her like 25 before I was like, that one. And we had to buy it. So.
Okay, so you're picking, but here's the thing, Alex. Over time, you will get to a point where you're like, I don't want to see 20 pictures. Just pick what you want. That's what will happen. Because
she's gonna wear you down.
No, my wife has not worn me down. I just know that it really doesn't matter. Like I have this room. I told my wife, all I want is this room. And you can do everything. I just need this. I just love doing it. So me and her can do a podcast. I can have fun doing a podcast. This is where I do my radio show. This is all I want. Anything else, it's all you. We're doing a backyard. It's all my wife. We're buying furniture. It's my wife. Art, wife. This room, it's me.
It's a man cave.
It's my workspace. It's not a man cave.
Well,
because a man cave, I have another idea for a man cave, but I don't think my wife will let me. I want to take out the garage.
Do you think you can get a second room in the house?
Well, I want that garage.
Yeah.
And then to clear everything out, put it in storage, and then make it like a movie theater room.
Yeah.
But I 100% my wife won't go for that.
If you did have a theater room, you could watch the premiere of Amber Brown.
Oh, look at that.
That is coming up.
Look.
That is coming up. Well, I'm excited for you. Like, I haven't had a show premiere on Apple TV. So it's got to be like, there's got to be some anticipation happening.
Oh my, I am so excited. By the way, hit the subscribe button. Alex always tells me every 5 to 10 minutes, hit the subscribe button. Amber Brown is a new show on Apple TV that's coming out. I'm one of the stars in it. I play an ex-husband trying to get in his family's life. It's about a mixed race couple, but race is not the theme. It's about love, drama, and second chances. And that's really what the show's about. And I'm so proud to be on it. Carson Rose is the lead actress, the little girl. Let me tell you something. This girl, look at me. This girl will win an Oscar by the time she's 25.
Oh.
This girl.
She's super
Carson
talented.
Rose will win an Oscar by the time she's 25. She is that good.
Really? How old is she in real life?
She's 11. She just turned 12.
11.
And it was one of those things where I was on set and I would mess up a line. She'd go, "Oh no, your line's this."
Oh,
and I'm like, "Oh my God." And just watching it, she's so next level. It's so organic. It's so real.
Wow.
When you look at an 11-year-old and you go, "I'm learning a lot right now." Even people that have been doing TV for 20 years, they were like, "Wow." Like, everybody was blown away by her. This girl, I'm telling you, she is next level. She is the star of the show. And Apple Plus, everybody watch it. Hopefully we can get a second season. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because I love the show. I love the show so much.
They, when you have a show that's premiering, do they give you any indication, like, oh, by the way, is it 8 or 10 episodes?
It's 10 episodes. I'm in 9 of them, but it airs. They're going to drop all of them July 29th. And by the way, if you live in Los Angeles, at the Grove, July 28th, they're opening it up. They're doing a couple screenings at the theater at the Grove. They're going to have lots of games for kids. So I'll be out there. Our family will be out there.
Are you going down there for that?
Oh, yeah.
I love that Grove.
So I'm watching the movie, and then I'm flying to Huntsville, Alabama to perform. By the way, a lot of people don't know this. Huntsville, Alabama,
what about Alabama?
Has the most nuclear physicists in the country.
What?
In a small area, yeah.
Because they're there working for who?
They used to work for NASA, or maybe they still do stuff for, I don't know, but that's the one fact about that area. It's like, or per capita or in that square mileage, it's the most nuclear physicists in the world or country, for sure.
Do you ever adjust your material depending on, like, are you anticipating a certain audience in a certain city?
Oh yeah. But I don't adjust. I go after everybody. Like, I don't care if you're
I'm just always Michael,
a freaking hick from Alabama. I'm gonna talk to you like a city swinger from LA. I got good. There's good and bad. You'll like some of it. You won't like some of it, but it is what it is. It's comedy. You'll laugh though. You might not like it, but you'll laugh because it's funny. So it is what it is. I guess that's all the stories, right? We're good. We're good.
Is that it? Yeah. Well, that was 3 technically.
Yeah, but that's fine. You got. Oh, let's do some Vegas.
I mean, just super quick.
Okay,
let's rattle it off.
If you're if you're coming to Vegas, this is for you. We both live in Vegas, so we want to give you some highlights of things you should see. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Las Vegas, and you guys know this, is that all these bands just rotate through Las Vegas. And a lot of them, maybe they were famous in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, but they find an amazing audience because everyone flies to Las Vegas. So Journey on stage this weekend at Resorts World, one of the big, giant new properties in town. And that just got us thinking about these legendary rock bands.
Journey, I grew up with rap. I know the name Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, are they? No, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Are they Don't Stop Believe?
Yes.
Don't stop. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yes, they are.
All right. Don't stop believe. Okay, that's them.
Hold on. This is what I said on my show this morning: is just go into YouTube and go top 10 Journey songs, and there'll be like these little montages of all their songs, and you will know probably every song.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of, no matter where you grew up, I think they were just always playing on the radio from the late 70s on.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, another residency you should check out if you're coming to Vegas, Usher. Because originally his residency was at
Caesar's Palace.
Now it's at MGM Park, and it's the next level: staging, lights, dancing, roller skating. And here's what's crazy about Usher. You forget he's been in the industry for 25, 28 years, somewhere around there. And he has so many hits. I've never been to a concert where they can sing for 2.5 hours and it's all hits. Literally every song is a hit. Every single song is a hit. And he did this one section where he kind of gets in the crowd by the DJ booth and he does this 6-song
That's
thing.
when everyone's like this, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. But he didn't even sing the complete songs because if that was the case, he would have been up there for 4 hours. But the show is incredible. And the DJ that does the show, before the show even started, I've never seen, and I've been to a lot of concerts, but the crowd was so hype. It was the first night, and they were dancing, singing. The whole crowd. It looked like they were at a concert before the concert even started.
Wow.
It was incredible. Go see Usher.
I think the show's come a long way. I want to go see it again. I was there opening night, and one of the things I noticed too was that almost everyone around me was singing along to those hits, right? So it's one of those concerts where people are definitely up out of the seat and they're singing along. I want to see the new show revamped though. Because it moves stages and there's been a lot of changes. And of course, I always love to, like, he's going to draw the very best backup dancers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How would you love to get that call? You want to come dance?
I can't dance, but but if I were a dancer, I would want to dance for Usher.
I think
let me tell you another residency I saw. I saw Backstreet Boys.
Yes. What'd you think?
Loved it. Because every song you could sing along with.
Yeah.
And me and my wife went, and it was so fun to go with my wife because she's so awesome. But we both singing Backstreet Boys songs out loud. It just makes you relive a special time in your life, you know? And that's what I love. They're on tour. They're on their DNA tour right now. But fingers crossed they come back to Vegas.
I
got a bone to pick with the music industry in Vegas.
What?
Yep. So I saw Silk Sonic, which is Bruno Mars.
Yes, Bruno Mars.
Amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, that's the one I recommend.
Anderson .Paak.
And I haven't been to a show in I don't even know how long. So the first thing they do when I walk in is they put my phone in a little thingy.
Yes. Because you know why?
Why?
Because being in a show where everyone's like this is super annoying. I'm all for it.
I am too. I like it. I like when they do that. I like it, but Usher, they don't do that. But I like it because you got to focus on the show and you're not trying to see the stage behind somebody's phone.
Alex,
it's great.
Let me ask you something, okay? When was the last time after you saw a concert, you actually went back into your videos and watched the video again?
Well, I've only been to 2 concerts.
Ever?
Yeah. Well, sorry, aside from the Bruno Mars one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You picked the top of the top because consistently when people fly into Vegas and they ask me what should I go see, I tell them Absinthe.
Yep.
By Spiegel World and Bruno Mars.
And I'm taking me and my wife. We're going to take Alex and his wife to Fluffy when he comes to town, the comedian. Gabriel Iglesias. That's going to be September 15th, 16th, and 17th, right?
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite comedian. And I just mentioned it to Michael. He's like, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm like, wow.
I'm going to hit up Gabriel and we're going to make it happen, man.
Man, it's good to have a friend like Michael Yo, isn't it?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
And then he's on. Do you want to pimp your other podcast before we get out of here? You could also check out Alex on some other podcasts.
Let me just let you guys know. Check me out on Instagram.
Yes.
Alex_Nava_photography. And I'm on the Iced Coffee Hour. If you guys like finance podcasts, just type in Iced Coffee Hour on YouTube. You'll find us. So.
All right. JJ.
Love it.
Your handles up below.
Yes,
but go ahead. What do you want to promote?
J2 Snyder, everybody. Here in Las Vegas, I'm on the Morning Blend on ABC. On all the socials at J2 Snyder.
All right. Subscribe. Alex is giving me mean eyes. Subscribe because that's my job to tell you subscribe. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll keep doing this. We'll keep you up to date with the breaking stories. We'll see you next time. Later.
Woo. Good time.